What's up guys, Sam Taggart with the Door-to-Door Experts and D2Dcon. And I get hit up a lot of times on what industry should I get into, trying to knock doors. Like they're like, should I do pest or should I do alarms or should I do solar? Like there's so many different things you could sell out there, and not even in door-to-door, but direct sales is the right vehicle. So that's step one, just know that you found the right home, because the reality is the income is endless. I know guys making $1 million plus selling door-to-door. So it's a great industry to get into. And I decided that there's 4 P's, we call it, to decide what industry you should get into. So the first P is simple, it's position. Position means, what position are you in life? Are you broke as a joke, needing money fast? Are you somebody that's got a nice cushion where you can have a little nest egg to, ramp up? What I mean by that is some jobs, you're selling a bigger ticket like solar, roofs, things like that, where it may take a month or 2 or 3 months before you even get your first paycheck. Are you in a position to do that? Some of these jobs have lower level positions, just like a canvasser or a setter position where they're paying per lead, where other industries like pest control, satellite, alarms, pretty instant money. Pest control is deemed to kind of be the easier, quicker sale, then satellite, then alarms, and it just slowly, progressively gets a little bit more difficult. There's other things that are like auxiliaries like water softeners, meat, vacuums, HVAC, insulation. There's all sorts of industries that are out there that you may want to explore that may have different likes and things like that. So position, you got to ask yourself, what financial position am I in, and what risk intolerance do I really have in a financial spot? The second step is a plan. Now, a lot of people, they're like, oh, I want to sell this. And I'm like, well, what's your plan? If you're going to sell like solar, it's not like I'm going to go do that for 2 months and then go back to school. Solar's better when you're actually moving, relocating, and building a long-term pipeline, and you got to commit to 3 to 5 years, in my opinion. Now, it's not something you can just go jump back and forth between industries. Where some people like pest control, it's only 4 months. It's 4 months, that's the season. I'm gonna do it in between school, or I'm gonna do it as a career, but I'm gonna work really hard for 4 or 5 months, and then I'm gonna take the other months off and live and recruit or travel or do whatever you want, go to school. And that's the plan. I wanna relocate, I wanna move, I wanna come back. Some industries you might relocate long-term, some industries you might be able to sell right where you live. And if that's the plan, that's gonna determine what industry you're gonna get into. Now, the third P is your passion. Now, a lot of people, that anything you sell, everybody says do something you love, sell something you're passionate about. The reality is, was I ever really passionate about alarms? Probably not. Did I create a passion for it? Yes. Was I really passionate about the environment when I got into solar? No. But as I got better and good and researched it, I found a passion for it. Pest control, who's really passionate about a pesticide? Like, the reality is that's something that people have a misconception when they're selling something. I'm passionate about real estate or cars or whatever. Sales is sales. You should be passionate about developing yourself and providing a good service. But the reality is sometimes you gotta really believe in what you're doing. It's really hard to get out there when you feel misaligned with the company, misaligned with the product, misaligned in that. So believe in it. So just like, is this a good service? Is this a good company? Is this a good value exchange? Because it's really hard to convince somebody to exchange money for your product or service if you're not passionate about it. And finally, the fourth P is personality. What does your personality call for? Some people are very emotional driven, high energy, like quick hits, and they're better on an emotional sell like an alarm system or satellite or things like that. Some people are very logical, engineer, number focused, they're very like technical, and they might gear more towards home improvement or solar or things like that. So ask yourself, what's my personality? And what personalities do you want to surround yourself with? Am I more blue collar, want to get into more of the contracting type role? Or am I more like hippity young buck that wants to be surrounded by a bunch of younger cats? And maybe that's pest control. They tend to have a little bit more of a younger, upbeat vibe. So like what resonates with the personality you're with? And then the other one with that is, what's the company's personality? Companies all have their own culture or personality. A lot of people ask, do I get into a big behemoth company with 1,000+ reps? Or do I go with the little startup that has a lot of opportunity for growth? And do I go with them? And so you gotta ask, like, what environment do I wanna surround myself with, and what's the personality the company's giving me in the value exchange? Or a lot of people, they chase a pay scale, they chase money. My advice is don't necessarily chase the pay scale, chase where you're gonna be happiest, where you're gonna have an environment that's gonna motivate you to sell the most, and they give you a happy and medium, like a very fair pay structure. When people go and finagle and try to negotiate these special pay scales and deals and things like that, it usually ends in a lose-lose situation. So my recommendation is realize that companies gotta make money, create a win-win situation, and get with a company that's gonna be your personality. So now that I've explained the 4 Ps, what I would recommend is following us more on other tips to how to knock doors, how to get into it, how to find the right methods and strategies. So listen to the podcast, D2D-podcast on any of your favorite podcast app. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram on D2D Experts or the Sam Taggart Instagram. Check out our event, D2Dcon. We're here to provide value and answer your questions because you found the right vehicle. This is the vehicle, you just gotta drive it the right way.